Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Break. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Break Breakdown. Today's guest is the founder of Maker Table, who was our 2019 Business of the Year. And yep, Adam Hefner. He started his business from his garage a couple of years ago and has grown it to be a staple here in Robertson County. You can see a lot of his work all through town. The jail alley, the Springfield City Hall sign, the
Central
Park, all kinds of places. Our kiosk has some of his touches on it, and so we're just proud to have him here today. And when we get back to work, it might feel like we're starting over in our garage. So thanks for coming and telling us what that might be like. So Adam, tell us about what's going on with you.
We're trying to keep up like everyone else here with all this craziness going on. I don't really have any answers. We have our crew split up. I'm trying to remote in right now from my house. We've got three of our other people that do mostly computer stuff working at their house and remoting in. So we're doing a lot of video chats like this in the morning for our meetings. And then we've got the guys down at the shop that are still pushing parts and getting metal through the equipment and stuff. So definitely stuff that I've never seen in my life, and I don't think many have really. So I don't unfortunately have a whole lot of answers or really creative tips or anything here, but the biggest boon that I've noticed in my business is we had to shut down our retail space. So the front of house is totally closed. So we don't get any walk-ins anymore. And basically all of my physical sales, going to do takeoffs at people's houses has really slowed down. Going to meetings at job sites on construction projects have gotten really weird. They're not happening as often, and a lot of times they're happening outside, and they're way shorter. They're trying to keep stuff really brief. So those sides of the business, all the physical sides of the business have really, slowed down. But what has sped up for us is our e-commerce, our internet side of business. And if you look at, the larger trends here, Amazon is having record sales, Walmart online is going crazy. There is a lot of internet spending that's still occurring right now. And I just want to encourage everyone that's on this this chat this morning to try and look at your business with fresh eyes and see where you have a digital component. I hate to, I'll just call a couple people out here, Born and Raised Market in town. They have an incredible offering, this really uniquely curated shop that has all these discoverable items that delight you just to find them. And she's curated this really awesome store to serve Springfield. But those same offerings, aside from the sandwiches and stuff, the stuff she collects from local Nashville vendors, like the cotton candy and some of the other things, could easily be shipped and packaged up. So I want to, encourage you guys, maybe look into shipping if you have a physical store. Obviously, premium food delivery is keeping the lights on for a lot of restaurants right now who have their front doors shut. And if you have a service industry like the Shalom Dance Studio, they when this all happened, they recorded a bunch of their lessons and posted them up through a paywall. So if you pay for the subscription service, you get access to all of their lessons they pre-recorded. So it could even work for service industries. If my brother works HVAC and his front counter got shut down, so now he's packaging up install packages for homeowners to do on their own. So they made an instruction sheet and they shot a video of how to do a few different things. And then now they're making these kits for install easy, basically, that they can ship out and around. So I just want to encourage you guys that capitalism has shakeups like this. It's survival of the fittest, and you have to adapt. And with computers and technology and software and hardware, and everything that's going on technologically around us, change can happen really rapidly. But the beauty is that we're not excluded here in this small town. There's a lot of programs out there that make it really simple to get into online e-commerce. We built our whole website on a platform called Shopify, and there's another one called Squarespace. And both of those will process credit cards for you, keep track of all the transactions, keep you totally legal and compliant with all the reporting as far as credit cards go. And building your products into their site is a lot like building your Facebook profile. It's fill in the blank. What's the name of your shop? What's the description of this product? Upload a picture here. What's the price? And they really line it out. So there's no more code involved really in getting online and opening up an e-commerce store. So I just want you guys to think about that, and hopefully that gives you a few ideas of ways to change and adapt to this thing, because this is a long-term shift in our economy here, and it's driving a lot more people online, and people are getting a lot more comfortable spending their money online and spending their time online. And here we're all virtually in this meeting, where 2 months ago this might have seemed a little silly. Why not just get together?
Right.
So
why not get together when we can, but we can't now. So now this is just, we really don't have a choice but to meet this way. And I wonder.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing this is kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree.
This extrovert is not loving this. I like to see with all the people.
But I will say that I think a lot of companies will see that it is possible to work remotely. Mm-hmm. And I can say my brothers, especially who work in Nashville, they are, as much as they hate the situation we're in, they have loved the fact that they've been able to work from home and spend time with their kids and eat lunch with their kids. I don't know. It just has changed the way that they look at even their commute time. I mean, so many people spend so many hours on the road every day, even us going just to meetings here and there. And it's our job to make those connections. And I look forward to getting back to that. However, we have 3 meetings in the next hour, and we can do that because of virtual meetings. We could never do that in an office setting. We've been pretty productive, working from home offices. And I think a lot of people will see that shift is possible, and their employees can be productive, and they can be profitable by doing that.
Yeah, and we can still stay connected to people. Like, I video chatted with my sister in California, and we've never video chatted before. It was just like, we'd call and talk to each other every once in a while or text, but we did a video chat, and it was closer than just a phone call,
Yeah.
So I've just had little revelations like that where, being stuck at the house is not that great, but this kind of communication, I think is really great, that we can still get face to face and talk to each other and communicate. So, I just have kind of I was just really thinking, like, what could I share with all the business owners and people in this community that would be, hopefully a little positive and not get too stuck in the doldrums. And I was reminded of, I guess, an allegory that I was told when I was a teenager. We used to go backpacking in Yosemite. I grew up on the West Coast, about 60 miles from the park, and used to spend a lot of time in there. And you get to see on the forest floor places where, like, fire has ripped through and has torn apart parts of the forest. And when storms come through, and floods and mudslides and rock slides, and there's all this stuff that's happening in the forest all the time. And what really impressed me is we have these giant redwood trees back in California that some of them are so big that they hollowed out the center of the tree and a car could drive through it. Others they cut down, and the stump left was large enough to be a dance floor. They would host dances on them in the late 1800s. And I really started thinking, how do these giant redwood trees live for thousands of years and get to these gargantuan sizes? And a lot of times redwoods will survive the forest fires. They'll survive gale force winds. They'll survive freezing weather, really hot summers, mudslides. They'll survive in all weathers, in all climates, in all situations, and they just carry through. And how trees do this is when the winds come, when there's adversity, they sway. Is they're not inflexible. They're deeply rooted in the ground, and they stay put, and they know where they came from and where their roots are. But the top and the branches, they're allowed to just sway and be carried around with the wind. So I want to share with you guys, just don't be too inflexible. The way to survive here is not to be rigid and immovable. The way to survive here is to adapt and change and kind of sway with the breeze. Don't forget your roots and where you came from and what you are and who you are. But at the same time, you can maintain your base, and the top of your tree can still be moving around, and reacting to the things around you. So that's my big message for today. I really wish everyone here the best.
I see a lot of creativity. I think everyone has tried to think outside the box and what is going to be the best sustainable program for them, because we don't have an end date. And now people think the end date is May 1st or whatever, but it's not. There's going to be a group of people that don't feel secure leaving their home for a few extra weeks. And I can't say that I'm not on that same mindset, because we haven't seen this before. We don't know what the life of this virus is going to be. And so I feel like people are going to have to keep this creative way of business for the long term until they see people rolling in their stores. And that may not happen again. People may take this and keep the structure because, like you said, they're comfortable with it. And so I think that if we can get people to fine tune this creativity that they've created for this, what they thought was a shorter amount of time, it may be that double business for them. They may catch a whole different market that can't make it into their store during their hours while they're still keeping their door open. But they're capturing a market that they weren't capturing before because they had these weeks at home to really find what was local, find what we had, and they're able to source their products through this new way. And so it's definitely there's been negative for people who like to get out and about, but I think there's been a lot of positive too, because we've slowed down and learned about our community and learned who is here and who we wanted to support and those businesses that we want to keep supporting so that they are here through this. So
I think
I've loved it.
I think too that as Adam said, the internet is an equalizer, right? Mm-hmm. So before, you had to be a pretty large corporation to have a footprint in digital marketing. 10 years ago, it would have been really hard for small businesses to bounce from this or even remain 5 years ago. Even remain the slightest bit competitive in today's market. But social media is an equalizer. The internet is an equalizer. So where people thought, maybe I don't have to do that game, my office has always been, my storefront has always been my bread and butter. As you said, Adam, this is your opportunity to divert. You're on this path and a tree has fallen down and it's time to go a different path. But, you've just got to adapt your business. And we have a ton of resources in this community that can help you adapt your business to that. I mean, building a website that's not your strength, we've got great resources that can help you do that. And social media marketing, man, we're pretty good at it. We're good at sharing your information. We've got great resources like Adam. We've got Small Town Startup. We've got multiple entities who have done it and been successful and are here to help nurture their neighbors be successful in the same market. So we're thankful for your leadership, Adam. We're looking at you, man.
Thanks for having me. Disruption is opportunity to an entrepreneur. You're almost looking for disruptive climates to jump into. So this has upset a lot of paradigms, and people are hustling. There's, someone's going to come out on top of this pile when it's over. Those are the facts. So, and
I would say too, the community that helped all of you small businesses build your business, we're still here, guys, and we're not going to forget about you. And we are all eagerly awaiting an opportunity to come and share 30 minutes with you in your store, in your shop, in your restaurant, whatever that looks like. We're not going to forget about you. Our mission, the Chamber Chicks mission, is to make sure that we rebound as a community really, really strongly. And we're here to help support you in that. And one of the things, our last chamber chat, Amy Hicks said, Carly asked her, what can we do to support you? And she said, just don't forget about us. You know, if you're a hairstylist, it's really hard to make your business virtual, right? So just don't forget about us. And that's exactly right. We have to remember to be very intentional in this next phase of recovery. And that always means supporting our local economy and our small businesses.
Yeah, I mean, well, even a hairstylist could jump on YouTube
Yeah,
and start
absolutely.
doing tutorials right now. Or maybe there's some sort of self-care kits where they have access to Sally's Beauty Supply, and they can still get some markup and margin selling, beauty kits or spa day packages that are all just bundled together, because they have a really good wholesale, basically supply chain in those beauty shops that lock people out. So they have some margin there. There's even opportunity in service industries, guys.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I know several of our hairstylists are doing at-home dye kits, just root touch-ups. So they build it that's best for your. They know exactly what your palette is, what colors you need mixed,
because
and
they're
then they do a
mixing it.
porch.
They're
then
chemists.
they do a porch pickup for them. So we've got a lot of adaptable businesses that are.
They're intentionally not including scissors.
Yeah.
No scissors.
No scissors.
Yeah, we used to own a hair salon. So I'm lucky. Steph still cuts my hair for me. I'm very familiar with that whole business model.
Yeah, Derek asked me yesterday, "Can you cut my hair?" I was like, "No, it's not that bad yet."
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually cut Stephanie's hair.
Of course you do. No doubt, Adam. No doubt. That's so funny. That's so funny.
But
well, we have several people watching. Unlicensed. That's exactly it. We have several people watching. Want to say hi to you guys. Some great comments on there. So we appreciate you being part of our morning coffee break breakdown. Adam, any final words, Denise?
Did you visit the shop and pick up your mug?
I have not been to the shop yet. I've been trying to keep a good quarantine going here. But I'll have them shoot me a picture. Is that the mug?
This is the mug.
Oh, it's nice and generous too. It looks big.
Yeah, you can put like half a pot of coffee in here. Yeah.
You should feel lucky. I don't even have one of those.
Man, a little peanut butter and jelly going over there.
I don't drink coffee. So.
You don't drink coffee.
Oh, all right. Get you a milkshake cup or something.
Yeah. So, but Gaiman Pottery, they made those for us, and they are the coolest. They make the honey pots too for We3B and some of those things. So they've got a cool product going out there.
You got the cool neighbors.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for coming, Adam, and getting up early on a Wednesday morning. And we talked about changing
early.
I was like, why? 8 o'clock. That's it. Yeah.
No problem.
Adam has little kids. He's been up for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah, I woke up about 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't.
Well, thank you, Adam. We look forward to getting back in your shop, but we'll make sure we go to your. So give us your website and the best way to reach you.
Okay, our website is makertable.com, and we are taking orders right now. Everything on there. There's still time to order for Mother's Day. We are shipping everything, even here in the community. It's free shipping though, so it doesn't affect the price at all. The only thing here locally, you'll still have to pay sales tax, unfortunately. The best way to get a hold of us is sales@makertable.com. That's kind of our central email, and we can get you out to the right person because we are all kind of spread out and working remotely as we can. The retail store is closed. We're not taking walk-ins. We're not taking pickups. We're taking deliveries of raw materials, and we're having them left outside for a few hours before they come in the building. And, come whenever the state opens up, we're still going to have the retail space shut down because I'm not quarantining, but when I am at the shop, I'm with my kids and my whole family because they're out of school. So I'm just not going to take any sort of risks with my family. So unfortunately, the front of house is shut down for the foreseeable future. But the good news is you can still get a hold of us online. Anything you purchase there will get shipped directly to your doorstep. You can order it in your jammies and open it in your jammies. It's a beautiful thing.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Adam.
Kara wanted to make sure that Adam knew she was going to take the peanut butter and jelly. She loved that. So
Yes.
if nothing else, you just fired up.
Yeah, I didn't come up with it either, so take it away.
That's right, steal away. All good ideas should be stolen. That's
I
what
like
they're
your
called,
planners.
borrowed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the planners out in front of the shop are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Those are neat.
Thank you. Those are for sale as well online.
Awesome.
And the fire pits are great. It's that time for people to get out and about, and that's kind of one of those things that people don't always think about. You have some really cool fire pits, or I love the cardboard burning thing that you did. Like, that was really cool. Yeah, that incinerator, that's what it was.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people with like remote campsites that they have to burn their trash, and so we had a few customers request that, so we put it together, and sold a couple already. So one of those weird products you never think of, but
right.
People are searching for them online, so we found it.
Awesome.
Your business model has always been to create something that doesn't exist, or to just think outside the box. So I think that this has probably been the perfect time for you, because this is just what you do anyway. So hats off to you for killing it and being with us this morning.
Yep.
Yeah, we're learning everything we can.
Awesome. Right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Adam. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming to Coffee Break.
Thanks
Bye.
for having me. Have a great day, folks.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.